'Cause when you're sick, sad and elated, Jah will cleanse and make you whole. Oh no, no. Lot of them are penny wise, they help and foolish. They're selling the soul for vanity. I'm not penny wise, no, I'm not foolish. I never sell my soul for gold.
Hey, Webmaster here. I stay connected to Freedom with the Freedom SKN app. Simply search for the Freedom app in the Android's Play Store or the Apple's App Store and download it. Enjoy world-class radio at its best, anytime, anywhere. Become a Freedom apper today.
And Chantoff is here! January 25th at Kim Collins Athletic Stadium, Bird Rock.
Watch the fastest legs and loudest voices from high schools across St. Kitts and Nevis battle for glory.
Grounds just $10. Medal stands $25. Kim Collins stand $50.
Get your tickets now at Harper's, Island Flavors, Cara Brewery Drinks Depots, and participating schools. Giant
Malt Relay Championships and Chantoff. Fuel the competition.
Reliable, dependable, Delta.
If you live here in St. Kitts and your tank on E, there's only one place that you should be. Maybe driving in Nevis and you need some fuel. Go straight to Delta. Don't be a fool. Get your cooking gas fast. All petroleum needs ULSD. Everyone in the region is shouting, Go Delta. Premium gasoline in a fully stocked C-store. So there's only one place you should be. Delta Petroleum, baby.
Every day we're faced with choices. To spend or to save. To delay or to stay on track. It's discipline that shapes our future. Because discipline means making the choice today that pays off tomorrow. Remember, discipline, choice, pays. A message from the Development Bank of St. Kitts and Nevis.
What if your money did more than sit in an account? What if it built dreams, supported families, and empowered futures? At St. Kitts Credit Union, we're more than a financial institution. We're a family that believes in your potential, rooted in people helping people. Enjoy competitive savings rates and low-interest loans for mortgages, vehicles, education, and more. Need security for you or your loved ones? The Family Indemnity Plan and Loan Protection Insurance give your loved ones peace of mind, whether you're saving for school, building your business, or planning for tomorrow. SKCU is here for you. It's not just about banking, it's about belonging. Contact us at 465-2272 or any of our branches. Learn more online at www.skccu.com. Become a member today and be a part of something greater.
Have you heard that Mind, Body, and Soul is back?
Yes, Mind, Body, and Soul is back on Sundays at 4 p.m. only on Freedom FM, hosted by the inspiring Julie Charles. This is your go-to show for thought-provoking and uplifting conversations. Every Sunday, dive into topics that nourish your mind, body, and soul. From wellness tips to personal growth to deep conversations, Julie brings you the stories that inspire change and spark reflection. Don't miss out. Tune into Minds, Body, and Soul on Sundays at 4 p.m. and let Freedom FM guide you to a more balanced and inspired life. Minds, Body, and Soul on Freedom FM, Sundays at 4 p.m.
Hey, Webmaster here. I stay connected to Freedom with the Freedom SKN app. Simply search for the Freedom app in the Android's Play Store or the Apple's App Store and download it. Enjoy world-class radio at its best, anytime, anywhere. Become a Freedom apper today.
good afternoon, everyone. Good afternoon to all my listeners. In fact, during the week, I got some calls, I got some WhatsApp from my friends overseas, on friends from the United States of America, and who inquired as to whether I had resumed the program for the new year, and they were eagerly waiting. I promised them that today is going to be a very educational one. Friends from the Caribbean, and I want to just thank you for the time that you dedicate to just listen to my program. You don't have to. It's your time, and if you apportion that kind of time for my program, I am very, very thankful. Very, very, very thankful. It is 1:48. We are running late. It's 1:48 in St. Kitts and Nevis, where we are broadcasting. And it is a beautiful Caribbean day. The number of cruise ships in the port, and the town is hustling and bustling with people around this time of the year. You are listening to Freedom FM 106.5. This is Issues with your host, Coach Adrian. And from the bottom of my heart, you know that it is great to have you on my show. I wanted to just reach out a little. Just not that I'm sure all the program, and I heard programs all during the course of the day, programs are highlighting Martin Luther King. Today is remembered and observed in the United States as MLK Day, Martin Luther King Day. Dr. Martin Luther King Jr., as I hope everybody knows, that these days you have your mobile phone and everything, your library is in the palm of your hand. Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. advocated racial equality, justice, and human rights, but through non-violent civil disobedience. That's a tremendous political strategy. Some say it was practiced by Jesus Christ. Others say it was practiced by other persons, and so on. And in other words, it is disobedience, but non-violent. How exactly you do that? I have read volumes, I have looked at so many movies, and I just believe that this man had a special gift. But of course, what came out of that is all those redresses for black people, particularly in America. This message is particularly important now. At a time when the world is uncertain. The world is uncertain. You better believe me, the world is very, very uncertain. Almost nearing turbulent. It's tense. The people are impatient. People are getting more and more intolerant. But what is triggering all that behavior? As economies, and if you listen to the news and take your time, you'll notice that's not the kind of same news that you used to hear in 5-10 years' time. As economies slow down, jobs are being lost daily all over the world. In America, in Europe, in Central, South America, in the Caribbean, people are losing their jobs daily. And food prices continue to skyrocket. Some people are even afraid to go to the supermarkets now. As these things happen, if you are following particularly Al Jazeera, and governments are becoming more and more incapable of dealing with their financial problem, so that the fiscal issues are getting worse and worse, and they just do not seem to have an answer for that. Well, And so therefore people are getting restless. Citizens and leaders, whenever the economy is doing bad, they are turning on to immigrants. You name that. You watch that. You better observe that. Stop and observe that. Whenever citizens and leaders in particular cannot manage the economy, the macroeconomy, whenever they cannot manage the fiscal economy, the tendency is to turn on to the powerless, immigrants and non-belongers. Dr. King's I Have a Dream speech called for a nation in the context of America and a world free from racism, prejudice, tribalism, and hostility. He called for a global society of people living in peace. Black, white, brown, red, whatever color, off-white, whatever it may be. Rich and poor, religions or secular. Call for these people to live in peace and call for equity in the way we deal with people. Respect, love, compassion. That is what the day is remembered for. And those of you all guys who love basketball honors that. That is why our basketball games begin at 3 o'clock today. Now, let's run. Let's run like Julian Alfred, Juju. The fastest woman in the world, 100 meters in 10.72 seconds. And she called that Lucia Pressure. Now, today, we conclude the St. Kitts and Nevis 2026 discussion, budget discussion. That's what I promise you. Last week, I discussed at length the financing of the government's budget. I tried to show you the difficulty that the government face and the near, I don't want to say impossibility, but the hardship, the problematic, if you want, of operating that budget deficit. Now, we conclude our budget discussion on this talk show today with the perspective from the People's Action Movement and the St. Kitts and Nevis Labour Party. I have not seen the person representing the Labour Party here, but whether the person is there or not, I'm moving on. We are moving on. At the moment, I'm supposed to have 2 well-chosen guests, but at the moment, I have 1. And it doesn't matter with me one bit. It doesn't matter. If it's one that show up, we're going to speak with the one. I'm supposed to have 2 well-chosen guests. That is party supporters, but independent thinkers, I call them. I have had them before, and when I had them before, I was told by the management it was the first time that Freedom FM was privileged to have representative of the People's Action Movement and the Labour Party together. That is so beautiful. Now, I don't see we don't have the Labour Party supporter yet, but I have the People's Action Movement supporter with me. A young, energetic, and aspiring politician. Something about him I like. We're expecting the representative from the Labour Party. And he is a PAM candidate for the next general election. I told you on this program we don't choose. We choose people who are in keeping with our theme, and we try not to be prejudiced. This is Freedom FM. Our doors are open for everyone. Free speech. So welcome, Council. we have Azad Gums. Consul, it's a joy to have you a second time.
It's a joy to be here.
Sam is there, very nice.
Coach Adrian, it is indeed a joy to be here, and it's always a pleasure to be on Freedom FM with yourself and, of course, Sam Kondo, who has joined us here today. Of course, as you say, let me say to those persons who I haven't as yet, say Happy New Year.
It's very nice.
January, Happy New Year. So I'm wishing everyone a successful 2026. I do hope that, as it relates to, we have resolutions. Persons going to the new year about what they want to improve on themselves.
Yes.
What they want to accomplish.
Yes.
So I do hope all that is good is accomplished by those persons who have set forth that resolution for themselves. I also want to say that today is a very special day, Coach Adrian. I know that the topic is the budget.
Yes.
But in addition to that, today, 61 years ago, a letter was penned.
Come on, educate us.
A letter was penned to the chief administrator of the country, indicating to him that there now exists a new political party, the People's Action Movement.
I love it. Why you are shoot, man, I like the way you bring that in. Now, hold on there. Welcome, Sam. Yep. Sam, when I didn't see you, I was kind of concerned because I know you're a man of time. You don't joke on that. Sam, welcome again.
Thank you.
Welcome again. Just tell us something, Sam. We're going to get into business, but we're just breaking the ice.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. I want to say thank you as usual, Coach, for inviting me. It's an honor and a pleasure. Happy to be here to share with the people of the country. I know you like to discuss these issues which have importance to the people of this country, and I'm happy to join you to make my own contribution and to learn. I learned quite a lot coming here, so I want to do that. I want, like Azad, to wish the entire country and the region and the world.
Particularly at this time, it's turbulent. In the region, it's turbulent.
Yeah. In the world, it's turbulent. In the world,
yes.
In the world, it's turbulent. This is 2026 is a challenging year for us, and we have to navigate this well. And so it's going to take all the contribution, all of us, programs like this to contribute to look at our advancement and development of our people in St. Kitts Nevis first, the region secondly, and the world. Next.
Now, gentlemen, I know I have had you all before. That is why I'm not giving you all gifts, because I gave you all gifts last time, and gifts of health. And I hope we are taking our health serious, and I hope that I still do my routine. I still do my 7-8 miles every Saturday morning. I still do my gym and whatever, and I hope you all guys look. I know when money coming in, people forgetting about health.
No.
Young man.
Health is the most important.
Adrian, I think health is our wealth, and that's why I dedicate myself to physical exercise. I'm in the gym constantly because I think with a healthy body encourages a healthy mind as well. You can't have a sharp mind without a sharp body.
Excellent. Now, a number of people, they email me, they WhatsApp me and whatever. That's people from North America, the Caribbean. So they may not exactly, I know we know Sam very well, I know we know Azad. But for the purpose of the wide listeners, I want you all guys to say something, to introduce yourself. Sam, you go first, and let the young man go after.
I don't know how much I must say.
Yeah, because you're speaking to those outside.
Outside,
Yes.
I want to say that Sam Kondo, a former minister of government, I first got elected to Parliament in 1989. I was appointed a minister of government in 1995 under the Labour administration. In 2013, I left in January 2013. I resigned from the cabinet, and I went into a relationship with my buddy, Timothy Harris. We were unhappy and dissatisfied with the conditions then, and we had an alliance with a number of parties, formed the Team Unity, which was successful at the polls in 2015. And as a result of that, I did not win my seat in the 2015 elections, but I was appointed UN ambassador.
Very nice.
From 2015 to 2020. Again, I resigned as UN ambassador in 2020.
So your entire life has been statesmanship, public service, political activism, so to speak. It's like you're a product of the bowel of politics.
Absolutely.
You said absolutely. Now, young man, speak to us. Speak to your people because they may not know you.
Yes,
overseas.
Good afternoon. So, my name is Azad Gums. I grew up in constituency number 4, Old Road specifically. I am a former runner-up state scholar in 2008. I am a lawyer by profession. I have been a member of the St. Kitts National Youth Parliament Association from the age of 14 to 29. I served as president for 2 consecutive years. I'm a former guild councillor of the UE Kayville campus, the law representative. I've always been involved in public speaking, outreach. I've hosted a number of programs here in St. Kitts and Nevis, whether on radio, television. I am someone who's known to lend their voice to issues. Currently, I am self-employed. I have my own firm, Gums Legal, and I am the candidate for constituency number 4 for the People's Action Movement, in addition to
but
being...
the people overseas don't know what is constituency number 4.
Constituency number 4, the area from Challengers to New Guinea.
Very
yes.
Old Road.
Old Road, right in the middle. You understand? Yes.
That's what they know overseas.
Yes, Old Road, yes.
Yeah.
Very popular.
Yeah.
And additionally, I like to say also, I'm the deputy political leader of the People's Action Movement. I'm a former chairman of the People's Action Movement as well. So I have always lent my voice to discussion as a teenager and now. And so I am grateful to have a voice here on your program, Adrian, so we could speak about the issue facing St. Kitts and Nevis currently.
Thank you. Now we are going straight into business now. We have come here to discuss the budget. I'm just going to paint the fiscal picture and then we get into business. Honorable gentlemen, here is the fiscal picture of St. Kitts as we speak now. Quarterly tax revenue from June 2024 to June 2025 declined by 14 million, well, we quote in EC, and average 149 million per quarter. Expenditure increased at a quarterly average of 270 million, but the deficit has been growing at a quarterly average of 140 million. Citizenship by investment revenue can no longer finance the deficit. Citizenship by investment revenue fell persistently from 96.7 million in June 2024. I'm deliberately giving you quarterly data because it's more up to date, to just 22.5 million in June 2025. That's a massive quarterly fall of 48.1 million. Government savings in the commercial bank moved from 581 million in 2023 to 315 million in 2024. That is a fall of 46%, or a savings withdrawal of government of 266 million. That is to say, although government was collecting taxes and receiving CBI inflows to stay in operation, the Ministry of Finance had to withdraw an additional 266 million to finance payroll and to pay for goods and services. At the same time, government debt payment was 67 million in 2022. 75 million in 2023 $674 million in 2024. And of course, the national debt has averaged around $1 billion. It is in this context that Dr. Drew's Labour Party government planned to operate a budget deficit in excess of $152 million. Revenue is expected at $855 million, but expenditure is estimated at $1.07 billion. We are beginning right away. What is your impression of the budget, gentlemen? We begin with Sam, because Sam, you are from the Labour Party. What is your impression of the budget? Just speak on your impression.
Yeah, the impression of the budget is that the government is deliberately pursuing a deficit budget, because, deficit is a strategy, which means that the government intends to bring a number of services up to standard. So they have to spend more. There's the electricity, water, these are things that
No, electricity is a statutory body. Electricity does not feature in the budget. Because electricity belongs to SKN.
Yeah, but...
So, no.
Let me tell you something. It belongs to
SKN. Sam.
There.
Electricity, we are talking about budgetary items. Water is a budgetary... stick up in, please. Water is a budgetary item. So we can speak about water shortages and so on. When it comes to electricity, we are talking about a company, even though it is owned by the government. So you will not get any revenue line item or any expenditure line item featured there. So don't take off this.
Look. Let me tell you something. Government makes significant transfers to electricity. That's government.
Some don't go there. Don't waste time on that. Don't waste time on that, Sam.
That is an important budgetary matter.
Okay, go on.
Government,
it's not in the budget, Sam.
But
it cannot be in the budget.
We have made significant transfers, government money, taxes are transferred. It's not in the budget.
Go on.
That is a budgetary item.
Government
make significant in order to keep the fuel cost down and all those things. Significant transfer. When we're talking about government, that's what government policy has to be. It has to address the needs of the country. And electricity needs, government have made billions of dollars transfers. Well, not billions, millions of transfers to electricity. It's in the budget. It's recorded. It's not you. Which budget you reading, Peter?
I know what I'm talking about, but you go on. Sorry for interrupting you. Go on.
So we're saying that the budget is a policy document, right? It is how the government decides to interact, to transact its general economic policy in terms of going forward. And so I'm saying that the deficit is a strategy to make sure that these goods and services are made available. We are hoping that in the long run, it will develop into economic growth, where you will get the revenue in the final analysis to compensate for the deficit, to address the deficit that you're doing. It is an economic strategy, a policy to make sure that government is able to raise the standard of living of the people in the country.
I'll come back to that. Azad, what is your impression of the budget?
Thank you, Adrian. Sam Kondo says that is a political strategy, but there is no mention.
Let him go.
Economic strategy.
He can't say what I didn't say. It's not a political strategy.
Apologies, Sam. So it's an economic strategy that no one knows about, and that he has not mentioned to the people of St. Kitts and Nevis. I like that economic strategy so much. When we talk about transparency, it seemed like guesswork to me, not a strategy. But let me start with my presentation. So the government has presented the 2026 budget under the theme of investing in people and progress. The question the opposition must ask, and the question that we ask, is simple. where is the progress? And how are the people truly benefiting? Adrian, I love the fact that you highlighted the situation that we are facing in St. Kitts and Nevis, the fiscal situation. The government is proposing a total expenditure of EC 1.074 billion for 2026. To some, that might sound impressive. Until you place it beside the facts the Prime Minister himself has disclosed. In 2025, government spending reached EC 1.04 billion, which the Prime Minister confirmed represents 35.6% of GDP. This is an extremely high level of public spending for a small economy, especially one that has not experienced a natural disaster, a war, or a major national emergency during this period. Yet, despite this level of spending, we are told that the revenue underperformed because of a shortfall in CBI receipts. In other words, spending surged while revenue weakened. I want to put forward, Adrian and Sam, and to the people of St. Kitts and Nevis, that is not fiscal discipline. That is a fiscal risk. The Prime Minister tells us that the government is now weaning itself off the dependency or its dependency on CBI. But the budget offers no clear replacement revenue engine. Sam says it's an economic strategy. But the Prime Minister had the opportunity to inform the people of St. Kitts and Nevis of a clear replacement revenue engine. To date, that has not been mentioned. There is no new export sector, no major investment program to fill the gap. Saying we are moving away from dependency is not the same as actually doing it. If you were to recall the Prime Minister's presentation in the House, he spoke about heavy reliance of former administration on CBI, but he has not offered any viable practical alternative. Let's look at the capital investment. The government projects EC 167 million for capital expenditure and net lending in 2026. But after more than 3 years in office, the country has not seen a new hospital, a major industrial development, a transformative energy project, or a large-scale capital program creating sustained jobs. So the public is entitled to ask, where have the capital dollars gone? What exactly will this new allocation deliver? Now let us turn our attention to the debt. The Prime Minister confirmed that public debt increased by 15.8% in 1 year, driven mainly by central government borrowing. While the government points to the debt to GDP ratio being below 60%, the government misses the real issue. The issue is not just the ratio. It is what the debt is being used for. Debt that builds infrastructure, productivity, and exports can be justified. Debt that funds rising concurrent expenditure without transformation simply pushes the burden onto the future taxpayers. When we look at the ministry allocations, the picture becomes even clearer, Adrian. The Ministry of Finance receives EC 322.8 million. The Office of the Prime Minister, EC 72.8 million.
Don't go too deep, you know.
No. While I'm making the comparison here. So while the Ministry of Finance is over $300 million, and the Office of the Prime Minister is over $72 million, small businesses receive less than $10 million. Economic development receives less than $4 million. And our youth, who are our future, receive less than $3.5 million. And when you look at the Department of Labor, EC, 3.6 million.
Don't go into much detail, Azad, because
before I go on, I just want to
respond.
He can respond.
You can come back.
I just want
you
to complete
everything now.
Yes, I have more to say. This is just my beginning, and I'm going to end very shortly. Yes,
for both of you. Yes.
So, Adrian, what I've just said paints a story. It's not a story about empowering small businesses, young people, or job creators. We don't know who it is empowering, but it's certainly not these sectors. Finally, we're told that the budget is about transparency and accountability. Yet transparency is not declared. It is supposed to be demonstrated. You can't just talk about transparency and not demonstrate it. The public still lacks clear, accessible reporting on how major spending translate into outcomes they feel in their daily lives. The opposition and the People's Action Movement is not concerned about the size of the budget alone. It is about the priorities, the outcome, and the sustainability. High spending without visible development, rising debt without clear transformation, and promises of reform without concrete delivery do not build confidence. It erodes it. The people of St. Kitts and Nevis deserves a budget that produces real results, Adrian. We deserve growth that we all can feel, jobs that we can rely on, and an economy that is prepared for the future. And that is what I have to say so far on the Prime Minister's budget.
Go ahead, Peter.
So, that's a number of issues here. You raise a number of issues. Let's take the first issue, that I objected concerning.
Let me just say one thing before we go on.
Yes. Yes.
I want to say that.
You mean to him?
Yeah. Generally, I want to say, because it's a deficit budget.
Yes.
A deficit budget doesn't mean that the government is in bad shape,
This one means it's in bad shape.
No. A deficit budget is a strategy.
We know that, but this one there, the data shows that the government is in bad shape.
Look,
the government is near bankrupt. Be careful, some. The data is showing that. Because let me show you. Okay, give me a chance.
Go ahead. You go ahead.
Maybe I just need to review what I said there to you. I painted the fiscal picture to you.
Yeah.
In other words, the deficit isn't a big thing. If it can be financed.
Exactly.
Well, that's the point. But the point is the data. Look at what I just told you. Let me just show you what the data is saying again. I'll read it again.
Okay.
Because maybe we did not. Let me just read it again.
Yeah.
Let me just read it again. I'm bringing it back.
Mm-hmm.
Come on. I'm bringing it back. Let me just read it again. Okay, I have it right here. Revenue.
Mm-hmm.
Revenue, tax revenue is falling. That's what we are saying.
Yeah.
And IMF reports have been showing that it is falling continuously. Now, secondly, your expenditure, remember, a budget is revenue and expenditure.
Absolutely.
Now, when you talk about transfer is an expenditure item,
Absolutely.
So be careful. So when you make a big fuss about that, you are actually, in other words, it's like a pipe. The pipe is water coming in, that's revenue, and the pipe is the expenditure, water going out. So expenditure is increasing. Now, even if it is increasing, but what is troubling there is that the deficit is persistently increasing. That is the problem. It's like a cancer. So here's the other point. The bailout line item for the budget over the years since Douglas, and that's why I always say Douglas is a very smart man. At the central bank, we hit him, we call it a slush fund or this and that, but Douglas said he's not bringing it in the consolidated fund. But what he created for himself, another avenue, so that, in other words, he's not depending on tax revenue. Now, we have brought the CBI in the consolidated fund because it is part of the fiscal account. So, it used to buffer. Whenever you have that, if you want, the vagaries between expenditure and revenue from tax revenue, look, let me tell you something. CBI performed well. In fact, on the Timothy, it went higher in 1 year than even under Douglas. And all under Douglas is performing. But what is happening right now, it is drying up. So I showed you that taking a quarterly performance from 96 million in 2024 June, in 2025 June, 22 million. So in other words, when the Prime Minister said that he was not depending, he's correct. He's correct. He needs to find another revenue item that is one that is going to supplement the inadequacy of the tax revenue. That is the point that we are making. So in other words, you cannot just talk about transfer. We're talking about a deficit, maybe a strategy, and you're right. But here, the strategy is beginning to be a burden. And how we know it's beginning to be a burden? I look at the other data. It's just like a house. What is happening to your savings? Money not coming in, but you're spending money, so your savings. But the IMF report from 2022, 23, 24 is showing it, but here is the data. The savings is going down. From 2023, it was 20% of GDP. In 2024, it's 10% of GDP. So when I did the calculation, basically what is happening there, you are depleting your savings, you're not getting the money, but on top of that, your debt payment is increasing. If it's a house, you bankrupt. That's the point we are saying. But government can't be bankrupt like a house because government has fiscal powers. It can raise taxes, it can do whatever. So that's why we say government is not bankrupt like a business. No. But the thing is, the principle is the same. You cannot live on $1 or $2 lifestyle when you're making 75 cents. That's the point the young man is making.
Thank you, Adrian.
So talking about that the deficit is a strategy, yes, but the strategy here is becoming persistently burdensome.
And that's the point, Adrian, because if Sam is saying that it's an economic strategy, that you have the deficit, as you have said, and I've read the data, in coming to this show, I had to prepare. I had to read reports. I had to look at the budget. I had to look at the allocation. It is clear that this is a persistent deficit. So if 1 year is a deficit, okay, but when you reach 3 years of deficit, well, the strategy to me is not working. We are getting worse.
But one thing, Sam made a good point. I believe, and I research it, I believe that the government, in other words, a budget has two things in it. a precipitating cause and an underlying cause. Some you know about budget. There is much of a budget, policy-wise, that are not spoken. In fact, in the 1980s, George Odlum in St. Lucia, he described one of Compton's budget as a bikini budget. You know what's a bikini?
Yeah, you're showing everything.
Do you know what's a bikini?
You're showing everything.
No, that's not true.
You're showing just very little.
No, what?
You're showing just very little.
A bikini reveals and conceals.
Reveals and conceals. Okay, all right, okay.
Azad, are you with me on that?
Yeah.
What it reveals and what it does not show.
Yeah.
Odlum said this way: what it reveals is significant, but what it conceals is vital. Now, I believe the government has economic policies that are going to impact on the fiscal situation.
Absolutely.
But it was not detailed in the budget. And you know what? As I read and I prepare, the special sustainable zone.
Wait, let me leave it.
Now, if you think of the special sustainable zone, last week I said that. Basically, it is a new product from the old CBI product. The old CBI product depended on a number of applicants who want to enter third countries. So America don't like them, Canada don't like them, Europe don't like them, and so on. But if you read the SSZ, and I promise the people that Charles Wilkin did a very lovely paper on the SSV. I asked them if they send me the email, I give it to them. And he shows that an estimated about 11 or so million people expected. These people are not third country people. Let us assume that 50% of those numbers come in. Think of the windfall of the developers. Think of the impact on the economy. Think of the backward linkage and the forward linkage, how that spill up into tourism and this and that and that. Think of the transformation. Think of the job creation. That is one side. I believe this is a powerful policy issue, but I think, that's my view, government could not detail it. Why? Because it's a vexing issue now. Because Charles detailed all the issues, a state in a state, human rights violation, this and that, this and that, this and that. So basically what you have there, I said like this last week, government is in a, what you call a catch-22. Damn if they do, damn if they don't.
Let me just say one thing about the budget and the deficit, because everything. I've lived through years of budget debates, and I tell you, my first years in Parliament in 1989 to 95, we used to go to Parliament for the budget, and you will get a balanced budget. The balanced budget, and there's no deficit, because all it is an exercise in arithmetic. This budget, what the Prime Minister talked about, he said it is transparency and it is strategy. We get a budget in, let's say, 1989, and we say it's a balanced budget. And then you go back in February for a supplementary appropriation.
Supplementary appropriation, yes, that's correct. But some you have to be very...
every year we do that.
But some...
That is a fraud.
Yeah, but some...
That is not transparent.
That's good,
That is not open. That is not a strategy. That's an exercise in arithmetic to balance the budget.
If the budget is simply an exercise in arithmetic, then it's a damn waste of time.
Exactly.
You mean what you mean what you say?
Yeah.
Be careful what you say.
I said the budgets that they gave us were a waste of time.
But what about this one?
Not this. This is a strategy.
What makes it
you
a
get
strategy?
a balance, but
What makes it a strategy? What makes it
a strategy?
That's what he's saying. You have not said. What makes this? What makes this persistent budget deficit a strategy?
That we want to invest. You want to spend money. The government has gone to the effect of creating a productivity council, which we hold to transform and modernize the economy. That's the basis on which the government going, to transform and modernize the economy, tourism, agriculture, and all those things. It is a strategy to spend the money, to invest the money, to make more money.
I respect that, Sam, and I'm going
that
to,
is the strategy.
And I'm going to open the line. But Sam, just before I take him and then open the line, Sam, but a budget is money coming in and money going out. Where is the money coming from? He's asking you. Where will it come from?
From the investment.
Is it coming from which investment?
We're doing a hospital.
But the same thing. Where is the money coming from? That's what he's asking you. Budget is money coming in and money going out. Where is the money going out? How will the hospital be financed? That's what he's asking you.
That's common knowledge.
Answer the question.
The Taiwanese are building the hospital.
Very nice.
I said that for the last 5 years.
No, but
the last 3 years.
Well,
what you asking where the money coming from?
How you mean?
That is money secured.
How can sponsor?
That is money
how can
secured.
Sponsorship be money secured? How can sponsorship be money secured? I'm asking you how can.
That is agreement. Everything done sign on the dotted line. That is an agreement. You want to make an issue of that?
I'm not making no issue about that.
The hospital is an agreement done signed. We done went through everything.
Okay, sir.
Plans done done everything.
I am not going to
where the money coming from.
My question still stands, Adrian, and it has been a heated debate. I have listened, and I must say thank you for asking some of the questions and reiterating the point. I mean, he has spoken about, to me, imaginative things. There is a clear shortfall, and there is no answer as to, from the Prime Minister, where this money is going to be coming from. Even if he talks about budgets in the former years. Hold on, Sam, you had a chance to speak.
Development and economic activity.
Yeah, but there's no economic activity. Which economic activity?
Those are going to come.
When? It's been 3.5 years, Sam.
It's been. The SSZ has the best opportunity to bring that money.
It's been 3.5 years, Sam, and there has been no economic development. Adrian, it's been 3.5 years. The government has about 1.5 years left, and if it's 3.5 years they can't bring economic development, I am very.
You understand? This budget is not for January,
All right.
This is an annual budget.
Okay,
I know, Sam.
For the end of the year.
Azad, Sam, I like the fire.
I'm saying,
I'm taking some water and I'm going to.
I'm
to open the line.
Wait, before you open, because Sam had a long time to talk about activities that he foresee that he has not even mentioned. Perhaps he and the Prime Minister are reading from the same script, talking about some fanciful economic development that we, the people of St. Kitts and Nevis, do not feel. He talks about they have been balanced budget in his time, and anybody could don't mean anything. But Adrian, I'll tell you this: budget aside, let's take out the big words about revenue and expenditure. Ask the common man or woman on the street how they feel in their households, and they will tell you that things are not going well. They'll tell you that persons are struggling to meet their bills.
Absolutely.
And so the government has failed to generate the economic development necessary to propel small businesses and to ensure that there is revenue in the country that persons can benefit from. You talk about the SSZ.
Yeah, but we're not giving the impression. We're not giving the impression that there is nothing happening in the country. That's not what we are saying.
Very little.
How you mean? When you say little, what measurement? That's why I like numbers.
Very little economic development in terms of there has not been any major capital projects.
Ritz-Carlton.
Where is it?
Well, it's coming.
It's coming.
Yes.
Like the hospital.
It's coming.
Okay. Like the 2,400 smart homes.
It's coming.
Okay.
The number of homes are building all the time. houses are building.
Yes,
houses were always being built all the time. That's separate and apart from the 2,400 homes on the one developer.
Let's take a break.
In addition to that, the SSZ.
No, let's leave the SSZ. Let's take a break and we'll come back.
Take a break.
I like it. You all guys okay?
Yeah, man.
Yeah, I'm fine.
We are going to take an advertisement break, and when we come back, I'm going to open the line because you see the people need to speak. Yes.
And Chant Off is here, January 25th at Kim Collins Athletic Stadium, Bird Rock.
Watch the fastest legs and loudest voices from high schools across St. Kitts and Nevis battle for glory.
Grounds just $10. Medal stands $25. Kim Collins stand $50.
Get your tickets now at Harper's, Island Flavors, Cara Brewery Drinks Depots, and participating schools.
Giant Malt Relay Championships and Chant Off. Fuel the competition.
Reliable, dependable, Delta. If you live here in St. Kitts and your tank on E, there's only one place that you should be. Baby driving in Nevis and you need some fuel. Go straight to Delta. Don't be a fool. Get your cooking gas fast. All petroleum needs ULSD. Everyone in the region is shouting, go Delta. Premium gasoline in a fully stocked C-store. So there's only one place you should be. Delta Petroleum, baby.
Every day we're faced with choices: to spend or to save, to delay or to stay on track. It's discipline that shapes our future, because discipline means making the choice today that pays off tomorrow. Remember, discipline, choice, pays. A message from the Development Bank of St. Kitts and Nevis.
Have you heard that Mind, Body, and Soul is back?
Yes, Mind, Body, and Soul is back on Sundays at 4 p.m. only on Freedom FM, hosted by the inspiring Julie Charles. This is your go-to show for thought-provoking and uplifting conversations. Every Sunday, dive into topics that nourish your mind, body, and soul. From wellness tips to personal growth to deep conversations, Julie brings you the stories that inspire change and spark reflection. Don't miss out. Tune into Minds, Body, and Soul on Sundays at 4 p.m. and let Freedom FM guide you to a more balanced and inspired life. Minds, Body, and Soul on Freedom FM Sundays at 4 p.m.
What if your money did more than sit in an account? What if it built dreams, supported families, and empowered futures? At St. Kitts Credit Union, we're more than a financial institution. We're a family that believes in your potential, rooted in people helping people. Enjoy competitive savings rates and low-interest loans for mortgages, vehicles, education, and more. Need security for you or your loved ones? The Family Indemnity Plan and Loan Protection Insurance give your loved ones peace of mind, whether you're saving for school, building your business, or planning for tomorrow. SKCU is here for you. It's not just about banking, it's about belonging. Contact us at 465-2272 or any of our branches. Learn more online at www.skccu.com. Become a member today and be a part of something greater.
Good afternoon. We are back. You are on Issues with Coach Adrian. This is Freedom FM 106.5, and it is hot in the room. The discussion is hot. We have with us two opposing views, but open-minded people, I call them. We have Sam Condor, whom I describe as a man coming from the bowel of the Labour Party, experienced statesman. years and years of experience. And then we have the energetic upcoming politician from the People Action Movement, Azad Gumps. I'm giving them a free ride to speak about their impression about the 2026 St. Kitts and Nevis budget. And I am teasing them, I'm asking the questions and whatever. We are going to open the line now. We are going to open the line. We want you to air your views. We want you to contribute. We want you not necessarily to agree with me or to agree with them, but to say your piece. The number to call is 662-1065 or 465-6474 or 465-0546. Somebody is online. You on air, please. We can't hear the person. Somebody else is on air. You on air, please.
Yeah, President, good afternoon, brother.
Good afternoon.
And everybody on the panel and brothers and sisters listening via the internet in the diaspora. You know, this is Rascal. The discussion is very interesting. You see what I'm saying now, my brothers. I'm going to show you an example. When Unity was in, they make over $600 million. I think it's a little less than that, but over $600 million in the CBI. Right? Now, Adrian stated, I think, last year, they make something like what? $200 million?
Quarter June 2024 they made 96 million, but for the quarter June 2025 they made only 22 million. So basically okay, it's drying up.
Okay, so what is the cause of that? Nobody talking about the cause of that. The cause of that is that we cannot sell passports to Russians. The United States tell us we can't sell passport to Russians, but they're buying oil from Russia every day. They're mashing up the CBI and the European Union. But wait, that is not in the discussion. We're missing the point, my brothers. Instead of we debating these things, we got to put our house in order. These people are waging war on us. The offshore industry in Nevis, they mash it up. They mash up the sugar industry. They mash up the banana industry. Everything we do, they mash it up.
Dede, can I ask you a question?
Go ahead.
You agree in that context, because the SSZ, the Special and Sustainable Zone, because it does not depend on the third country of Europe or North America and so on, and because it promises an avalanche of CBI money, do you think it is an option?
No, I don't see that. We got to get...
Well, tell me why.
Here's what we got to do, right? We got to make every black person a citizen think it's a Nevis and every black country. Because I will create revenue too. Because, okay, if I get citizenship and think it, I might live here, but I will visit. I have to stay in a hotel. I have to eat food. We got to rely on us. These colonizers don't want us, you understand, to build ourselves. We got to rely on us. And we could do it because Marcus Garvey showed us that. Marcus Garvey are the biggest organization amongst black people in the world. So I'm saying to our people, it's time for us to put our house in order. And I'm saying that I have a plan. I have a strategy. I have a project. You understand? The 7 principles of Kwanzaa is our guide. Our people got to unite. The movement for national unity is here. We can't depend on nobody but us.
You need new money to enter the country. In small dependent mini states like the Caribbean, you need new money to enter the country, or you need to find minerals like Guyana did.
Hear this. The AES have gold. We need to buy gold so we could get our own currency.
Yeah, don't go there, please. Don't go there. Don't waste time going there. You don't waste time going there.
Why not?
Well, you're wasting our time because we have a strong currency already. The issue is not the currency problem. The issue.
The currency is to the US dollar.
But Callan J, you're making a good point, but you're trying to destroy the point now. You said that people must begin to develop their own. We take advantage of the asset and the skills that we have and the whatever. Well, stay there. Don't go and talk about new currency. We have a currency already.
Hear this. The first thing we need to do is to plant food so we can be food sustainable.
Now you're talking, yes.
Yeah, that's what we need to do. Because what I'm saying, if you can't feed yourself, that's why we're dependent on them. The reason why I raised the question about the currency, because once you use the US dollar, they can show you to shut down the banking system.
Yeah, okay.
You see?
All right.
So all I'm saying to our people, it's time for us to get together, trash out our differences, and come up with our forward so we could depend on us. That's all, my brother. That's the solution to the pollution.
My brother, that's a good contribution. Thank you, Kalenji. Yes. Now, Azad, I want you to respond to some of these things. Now, you see, it's easy for us to sit and then say, Jew ain't doing that, and whatever. Let me ask you a question. You are a young man. He's young. Suppose you were Minister of Finance and you were in the Prime Minister's chair. Given that kind of fiscal picture I have painted there of the country, and given the prospect of SSZ, what would you do?
Well, first and
foremost, take your time and be careful. Be careful before you answer. Yes.
Well, what I would do.
Yeah. How would you manage? What decisions you would take if you were in the seat?
It might be a simple one, right, Adrian?
Mm-hmm.
But it's one that is proactive as well. Instead of having all of these advisors who are political appointees, one of the first things I would do is to hire persons who are extremely knowledgeable in the areas of finance.
Explain that to me. Go in detail on that.
Meaning?
What do you mean by that? So you would take people who are not PAM supporters. So you would take me even I don't support
Adrian, if
PAM.
you are one of the most brilliant minds in this country, or what we can bring to the table, then why not? At the end of the day, we want to make sure that our country is on a strong fiscal foundation.
Now, don't forget what you said. I like where you're going. But I mean, from the time I came here in 1991, it has always been party in power. It's party in power. Once the party in power, people, square pegs come in round hole. People who never work come. No, hold on. And both under PAM and Labour, they do the same thing. So are you telling me that you have a new perspective? You have a fresh air? So when we vote Azad is coming, because that will be great, if you have that. Is that what you're saying?
Yes. As I said before, and you've mentioned the past.
No, don't get me wrong.
No.
I have to tease you. Yes.
You've mentioned the past.
Yes.
And what is consistent in the past is that in those past years, decades, I didn't sit as a minister in government.
You were a little boy, you couldn't.
Exactly. I'm saying.
I'm just joking you.
I'm saying, if given the opportunity to serve as Prime Minister, knowing my background as a legal background, and knowing the strength of the team, we have to get persons who are versed, especially when we look at advisors. I think that gives us an opportunity to look at the best and the brightest and bring those minds to the table.
But you would do that if you have a development of visionary mind. And for example, but if you are there simply to be in power, for example, since I was at Central Bank, and no matter what I love Douglas for, we have been talking over and over. This country doesn't have a development plan.
And that is the issue, Adrian.
So would you have a development plan?
Of course. I think oftentimes politicians focus on getting re-elected more than showing a plan where we want to take St. Kitts and Nevis forward in 10 years, 15 years, and the like. We look at it even when I look at some of the settlements that we have here in this country. do we even have a long-term plan in terms of urban development, in terms of where we're going to put
development.
rural development, where we're going to put factories. How do we map out St. Kitts and Nevis and try to utilize the land that we have?
Because up to now, Dead Bay, when I came in 1991, we used to drive from the central bank to go up to Dead Bay after school, after work. You know why? You know the old police station? And you see the playing field that was there? Look, boy, to see football, real good football, fellas banging that ball in that breeze going up. Today, it's like a ghost town. Everything is still bastard.
We have to, and that's what I'm saying.
So what is your response?
That's why I said, Adrian.
Yes.
My answer might sound very simple, but it's practical. We have to start to focus less on the politics, less on that aspect,
I like to hear that.
and talk and think about development. In my mind, Adrian, before you go, in my mind, once you assume the office to work for the people, and not just your people who support you, but everybody.
To what extent? Now, I mean, you're a person that we speak a lot and whatever, so I have a certain understanding of you. But to what extent does the PAM really think of that kind of vision, Sam? To what extent? Tell us. Convince us.
Well, you could look very just a while ago.
Yes.
Look at the ministries that the People's Action Movement held. A lot of the persons in the ministry. Look at Dr. Sean Richards. Dr. Jeffrey Hanley was in his position for a long time. He was then when Sean Richards came in as Minister of Youth.
Yes.
Dr. Hanley was the head of the youth.
Yes.
The youth.
Yes.
It slips my mind.
Yeah.
Yes.
That is true. He grew up in this thing.
Yes. He was the head of the youth, and he was the head of the youth for a long time. It wasn't simply as Sean Richards obtained the office of the Ministry of Sports and Youth that Jeffrey Hanley, as youth director, was sent home. He stayed there, and then eventually he was transferred to the Bronte Welch, but it wasn't an automatic dismissal. And so if you look at the ministries, even look at our minister, former minister, Lindsey Grant, he would have gotten a lot of criticism because he would have kept some persons on who would have been part of the previous administration. Okay. In fact, a lot of the criticisms that we face here as a party when we talk to supporters is that we had a lot of Labour persons around in comfortable positions.
We don't have much time. We have 15 minutes left. I want your views. How are you all going to, let us say, if you are the man, Sam, how are you going to generate economic activity that will impact on the fiscal issue that you face? How are you going to bring in money in the country? That's what I want to hear.
Well, the Prime Minister talks about economic development, and of course we need economic development. And also we need economic diversification, but not just economic diversification by word of mouth. We actually have to try to do something. We have to try to invest and maybe renovate the CBI program whereby it's not just selling the passport. Listen, Adrian, it's not just selling the passport, but trying to ensure that it matches some sort of productivity when it comes to investment. So looking at how we could get the CBI to cooperate when you look at renewable energy. We have to start to become self-sufficient. We have to look at...
Sir, CBI is under threat by both sides of the Atlantic. The CBI, the old CBI. That is why I tell you...
That's why I say reform.
No, hold on. So forget about it. You can reform it. And that is why Labour, they're not saying it, but that is why they're holding on to the SSZ. The SSZ is a new CBI approach that does not depend. It doesn't depend on any side of the Atlantic.
When we look at the SSZ, Adrian,
I'm not saying I am for it.
Okay, good.
But then you cannot talk about well, you'd be saying just like the new Prime Minister of St. Vincent, but CBI is dead. CBI is under threat, and you're talking about reforming CBI. Man, don't say that. Don't write that in your manifesto,
Adrian, another thing, right? Because I mean, the CBI might be, it's dwindling. As we could speak, it's not as profitable as before, but it's not totally gone.
No,
so
it's going to be there.
So, as it stands now, and if there's reforms, then we have to make the reforms more long-term basis. So that's one. That's not the only one, but that's one. Whether it's a strong one or a weak one, it's not. So, listen, Adrian, we have to start to invest in digital and high-tech services. We have to look at sustainable agriculture, we have to look at green energy, and we have to back them by innovative incentives.
These are a lot of good words.
And these are some of the policies, and yes, it's not just good words, but these are some of the things that our party, even in the quiet of night, that we contemplate, we discuss. We do have an election coming on.
So what are the energy the energy projects that you are thinking of? Solar?
There's solar.
So how are you going to put solar?
Of course.
We have a solar farm by Central Bank that has been there from Douglas to Timothy 7 years, and it is just there. Do you know the solar farm by Central Bank? You don't know about it?
No, Adrian. I never said I don't know about it. I looked at you. I looked at you in disbelief because I think everybody who passes there know about that solar farm. So it's not an issue of not knowing about the solar farm.
So how we propose to use solar to transform the economy and bring all these things that you're talking about?
And again, Adrian, I tell you, what I'm telling you is the People's Action Movement's view of how we can diversify the country. Again, we are still in discussion. I don't want to preempt any manifesto release or anything at this point in time. When the election is coming on, we know that the party is going to have its own ideas. I don't want to preempt them.
I agree with that.
You understand?
I understand.
I am here on the party. I'm here as a deputy leader of the party, but I said these things to you to show you where we are focusing.
Sam, where the economic activity gonna come from that's gonna bring that kind of money? Because we need a kind of a jump start. Yes.
Without energy.
Yes.
The government has enunciated that energy as a major revenue thing.
Which energy?
Envision to generate 100% of electricity by renewable energy. The whole project.
Which one?
The project what we're doing.
Geothermal energy?
Yeah, geothermal.
Geothermal energy?
But not only that. Not that alone.
But all the issues surrounding that, all the debt issues, all the litigation issues.
The geothermal and geothermal.
Yeah, but every year. No, hold on. Every year we talk. Since Central Bank we're talking about it. What is holding it back?
It just started.
Who is going to develop it? Who is going to inject the money into it to develop it?
That is available already. In fact, people are giving us money.
So you say a lot of things are available that people don't know. You say you notice some. You come in, you tell me a lot of things are available. But what is that? It's like there is one. Some.
The geothermal is well advanced.
Advanced how? Who knows? Advanced at what stage?
Oh, the studies have been done already. They're getting ready to start. The money was given at concessionary rate, and the money to exploit was given. They say if you get nothing out of it, you don't have to pay us back.
Studies.
Only if it become a viable economic project, then you start to repay.
Some I have been in this thing for a long time, studies.
That has been said, that has been done.
Even, for example, some. Now, give a simple thing. Let's take a simple one. Ritz-Carlton. Ritz-Carlton is well documented on this and the feasibility, whatever. But we know. Given look at the uncertainty in the world now. That's what uncertainty does. It holds back investment flow and this and that. Now, that is more plausible and viable. Now, for example, when you talk about, say, for example, America is going after energy. They're going after energy. They have gotten the reserve from Venezuela, this and that, and whatever. So. It is great if you can get alternative energy.
Absolutely.
Yeah, but some who is articulating that and at what stage? You telling me studies this thing?
Well, study that has been on in discussion for the whole last year. Everyone knows that
more than that since I was at Central Bank.
But I tell you what has happened now.
Since Jesus Christ came,
we have moved beyond that.
Yes, I agree, Sam.
People. We have had money to do the studies. We have had money, and the money came at concessionary rate. They say, here's the money they gave us. We had it. We don't spend the money.
Studies is not project. Somebody, you know that.
But
Am I correct?
Yeah, but I'm saying that you should know that the geothermal is, I don't know how you don't understand that, the geothermal is far advanced.
It's between you all.
No, it is public knowledge.
Which public? I'm not a member of the public.
So you don't know that?
So as I do know?
You don't know what's
I know about the talks of geothermal for years now. Sam, has anything been
what's happening now?
No,
has anything been doing?
You almost living on
I think the whole country has been living on the rock then. So you could tell us about the smart hospital then. You could tell us about the smart hospital.
But look, we don't have much time.
And just to say one other thing, like I say, energy is a major thing.
Yes.
But agriculture.
What are you going to do with agriculture now? You're touching a sub point now. What? What about agriculture?
We have to modernize.
Well, how are you going to modernize agriculture?
Well, it started.
I was involved in agriculture, you know.
Yeah.
Let me tell you something. I was involved, in the closure of the sugar industry.
Yeah.
2, at SIDF, the large program over there. Look, we had even begun that. Look, consultants were coming in because the name is slipping me. And look, the connection between the farm and the supermarket and the hotels and the this and the that. Look, nobody did anything.
Absolutely.
Timothy was there 7 years. Nobody did anything. Now, Sam, tell me exactly how you're going to re-engineer agriculture. How? Tell
Peter,
me exactly how.
We are on the same page, you know. I'm talking the same thing like you. I'm not happy, you know. It's not happening.
Okay, very nice.
But I'm saying,
how you're going to do it.
I'm saying that this is our salvation.
Yeah, it is an option.
Not an option, you know. It's an imperative, not an option. I keep saying here, the money, the time we take to waste to put in the CBI should have gone in agriculture. CBI was supposed to be icing on the cake. Agriculture is supposed to be the cake. That is where we're supposed to be investing.
Be careful, Sam. You don't have much land for agriculture. And be careful that be careful that agriculture, or if you want food sustainability, does not necessarily mean that you produce the food, you know. You know that?
No.
But if you can get food that is nutritious, that is well produced for you, but you can get access to it and whatever, that doesn't mean that you have to produce it, you know.
No.
And can St. Kitts, with its topography, have any sustainable agriculture by itself? The answer is no. I'm not asking you that.
So, we shouldn't be in agriculture.
Oh no, I didn't say shouldn't. You have to supplement your production. That is why even at the lowest level, I have my backyard garden. You have your this. You have to.
That is what policy is about. It's about maximizing your options.
But you need to find activity. You have to do this thing at the same time, but you have to find activities that are going to bring in money more robustly.
Well, one of the things about agriculture, there's no other activity that promotes rural development like agriculture, you know. General rural development.
It depends, because if you have agriculture, must go with agribusiness, and that's important.
That's what I'm saying.
And if you don't have that built in it, you have problems.
That's what I'm saying.
And then, of course, even if you have agribusiness, marketing.
But that has to be the strategy. Yeah. I mean, this is just basic. This is elementary. But when you're talking about agriculture, you're not talking about.
But no party here is articulating that sum.
I agree with you. I agree with you. I agree with you, but I'm saying that this is imperative. This is what we have to focus on. This is what we have to do. This is our salvation.
I don't agree with you, Adrian. That you're saying that no party is articulating the position of agriculture.
Come on,
hold on. Let me discuss what I'm saying, Adrian, before you cut me off. Our party has been, way back in the 1980s, we have been the persons who have been pushing agriculture. We push marketing, we push when it comes to...
That was when agriculture was being subsidized, but agriculture is now free market.
Now, Adrian, as I said before, I'm talking about the past.
Okay.
Allow me to talk about the past and allow me to talk about how our party at that point in time developed agriculture to what it should have been now even more progressive. We have farmers at our table. I mean, we have the person in Troy Flanders. Troy Flanders is a farmer. He's someone who is a part of the consortium. We have a number of persons in our party who are experienced when it comes to farming. We have a number of issues that we highlight, and sometimes persons said, well, you're always going after the Minister of Agriculture. It's because we have persons who are around us who are invested in agriculture by the way that they are farmers who see the shortcomings.
What is the model that you're going to bring?
Again, we came here to talk about the budget. Yes, I know it's part of the budget. Yes. I know it's part of the budget. But in 2 hours, I can't go through a whole...
Well, we know that.
I don't want to start going through a plan that we're still developing, Adrian. I don't want to go through a plan that we're still developing in less than 5 minutes.
Yes, I agree with that.
And so when you ask your questions,
I don't expect all this detail.
And so when you ask your questions, is that our party has been planning and has been putting out points that we're going to present, to the people of St. Kitts and Nevis. That's why when you say, Adrian, what are some of the areas that we want to see improvement? How can we get away? That's why I talk about renewable energy. That's why I talk about sustainable agriculture. That's why I talk about digitalization.
Those words.
And
these are words that
these are words, and perhaps at a different time, when we have sufficient time, I could articulate.
I'll bring you back.
Yes, I could articulate further.
When we come closer to the election.
Of course. because as it speaks now, we are fine-tuning our plan.
Yes.
We are discussing with persons. We are meeting them.
He's a nice guy, you know, sir.
We're meeting them.
He's a nice guy.
You understand? On the street, Adrian. We have been discussing, and so when we put forward our plans, we want a plan that is foolproof. We don't want to go in like the Labour Party, just saying about this and saying about that without any consultation prior.
Remember, Labour transformed the economy
into what it is now.
Labour transformed the economy
into what it is now.
PAM set up now. I'm not taking sides. PAM set up the infrastructure. You cannot take that away from the Kennedy Simmons government. They set up. Give me a chance, sir. Labour run with it.
And where is it now under Labour administration?
It's a high-income economy.
And where is it going now?
How you mean it's going? It's developing. Countries do slow. That doesn't mean because a country slow down that the country is decapitating. Be careful, you know.
No.
Is that what you're saying?
What I'm saying, since the Jew-led administration in 2022, we have been faced at this point in time with a budget that's the worst that we've seen in a long time.
Okay.
We have that's a matter of fact.
The figures. So he let him speak.
Are hearing people cry out on the street.
Hold on.
Louder than they did before.
We don't have much time. So I'm going to call for your conclusion statement. So you can say that in your conclusions. Sam. We are closing. You want your conclusion statement, and then you will say all these things in your conclusion statement. So let me just tell the public again. This is Issues with Coach Adrian. This is Freedom FM 106.5. Our client says we are world-class radio at its best. Today we had PAM and Labour supporters capping up and concluding the discussion on the 2026 St. Kitts and Nevis budget. Inside here, representing Labour, is the old statesman, Sam Condor. Representing PAM is the aspiring politician, Azad Gumps. Now, we are going to ask them to give us the concluding issues on the budget. Sam, you go first.
Basically, I don't want to give the impression, Peter, and like I say, we are on the same page. I am not satisfied with the level of economic development that is taking place.
Okay.
More could be done in agriculture. There are lots being done in tourism. I am pleased with the way that is going.
Yes.
And that is the good area. I mean, what is happening in terms of the revenue generation, in terms of the tourism activities, in terms
tourism
of music
GDP
festival.
is very nice.
Yes. And what's happening in
Portia is doing a good job,
and Christmas and music festival and all of those.
Yes.
I mean, that we on the road. The increase in the overnight tours, in the overstay tours, the cruise tourism. I mean, we are going great guns there. Agriculture is an area that we need to focus on and to get going.
Yes.
The government has, as a policy, have created a productivity council with the mandate to modernize and transform the economy. Agriculture is going to be one of the main focus. We are saying that economic development is not a straight path, and policies must be adapted to suit the country condition, but in condition to what's happening internationally, because that affects what's happening in your country, the world situation. And so the world situation, it is now really challenging, and the government has to find a way of adapting to and to have to respond to the world, to the economic situation in the world.
Thank you very much, Azad.
Thank you, Adrian. The problem that we're facing, Adrian, is that in 2026, St. Kitts and Nevis has seen one of the worst budgets to date. The problem we are facing and we need to address is the over-reliance on the CBI program. We have declining revenues and rising debt. We have a weak investor confidence. We have limited capital projects and job creation. We have high recurrent spending without transformation. Some of the solutions that we could look at is fiscal transparency, whereby we publish national fiscal dashboards detailing CBI inflows, government spending, and debt exposure. I know you don't like to talk about the CBI, but looking at the CBI program, renovation, you understand? Where it's not just cash for passport, Adrian, but we look in capital for progress. If we really capitalized on the monies that were invested prior and put it into infrastructure and put it into investment, we will have seen our country going even further. So what little is there left, I would propose putting that into infrastructure. We have to look at targeted cost containment. Government is spending a lot of money.
On payroll.
Not just, on payroll, yes, that's one way.
High rental fees.
Yes.
And fees.
Yes.
Government building all over the place.
Yes. And government, as you said, the government are renting out buildings at high fees. We see a number of buildings by the government that are basically not being used. Look at the courthouse, the old courthouse. There's the exposure mall as indicated, but there's no, in my perspective and my view, there's nothing to address the issue. And so there's no solution in terms of creating a space where government can build a facility to host its own offices. The constant renting of buildings is not sustainable, especially if you're looking at the expenditure declining and declining revenue. Look at the number of travels that these ministers take. They travel all over the world.
Well, in the new economy, you have to travel.
They travel even. I'm sure they travel whereby also in the new economic world there's digital meetings.
That's correct.
They could utilize. I'm sure. If one were to look at the agenda and their meeting, I'm sure if they make it public to the people, you would see that they could have done some virtual meetings. Yes. So the spending on travel is over and beyond what was done previously. We have to look at to diversify growth sectors. So we have to look at developing digital services, sustainable agriculture, green energy, and advanced manufacturing. We have to look at a national innovation and productivity fund whereby we invest in startup research and long-term reserves beyond government dependency. And we also have to look finally at fiscal responsibility framework. We have to cap spending. This government is spending too much, and under People's Action Movement, we will ensure that we spend for what we need. We ensure that under the leadership of Natasha Shani Gray Brooks, that the People's Action Movement will take this country to higher heights. Thank you so much, and I do hope that everyone has a wonderful afternoon, and I hope that the year is going very well for everyone so far.
You have been listening to our last discussion on the St. Kitts and Nevis 2026 budget, and we had two representative of the parties, the incumbent parties. I'm not too sure say incumbent parties. Of two parties. There are 3 parties or 4, 5, and discussing their perspective. You have been listening to Freedom FM 106.5. We're broadcasting out of Sugar City, St. Kitts. Next week, we discuss the state of the economy, and I have a guest with me. I want to thank you for listening. I thank you that you were able to send some water on the heat we have inside here. And I'm grateful for Sam. I'm grateful for Azad. I hope when I call you some other time, you will come.
Every time.
Yes, Adrian.
Thank you so much. Until next week. Bye-bye.